Cashflow. It's all kind of in one area.
Buying 1 to 2 a year for the next 10 years, I would say. Anywhere between $250,000 to $300,000.
Well, I think kind of our strategy right now is we put it up for...
While in Regina, we had 5 hours total and 1 hour to kill, so I just threw up on my Instagram, hey, anyone interested in making a YouTube video in Regina, DM me right now. Let's meet up, let's shoot a video. Thankfully, someone responded. And so in this video, I'm actually just meeting up with YouTube fans and we're going to talk through their projects. So these guys are just getting into real estate investing, but at the same time, I can see that killer instinct in them. I'm just so excited to share their story with you guys.
What is up, you guys? Matt McKeever coming to you from the University of Regina. And so I'm joined today by Andrew and Steven, they're brothers. So first of all, thank you guys. Appreciate you taking the time on a Sunday to meet up. So do you mind, just for the audience, give a little bit of perspective. Steven, you're a realtor?
Yeah, I'm a realtor. I do it part-time. I'm an engineer full-time. Yeah, we just started real estate investing about 2.5 years ago.
And so, Andrew, kind of what's your background?
I'm a journeyman carpenter, and yeah, I work out of town right now at the moment.
So you guys kind of make a good team then. If you're a realtor, you're kind of a contractor, right?
Yeah.
So you guys can kind of combine skills.
I try to push more of the paperwork onto Steven and just do more of the work, yeah.
Awesome. And so essentially, what originally got real estate on your radar? Like, was there a book or like, you know, a blog or TV show?
We've always kind of been interested in real estate, kind of doing, I guess, construction and all that. We grew up on a cabin and had lots of, we were there every weekend.
Yeah, our dad was like a handyman, man of many hats, master of none. And yeah, he's always just been there, like giving us advice on certain steps of the construction process. And yeah, being a journeyman.
Tried and true kind of real estate investment is good. It's physical.
So did anyone else in your family invest, or like, do you know anyone with rental properties?
Not really, no. Our dad helped us finance the first property that we flipped. But other than that, yeah, it's just kind of our own, like learning off podcasts, YouTube videos, exactly that. Yeah, and books, lots of reading.
Awesome. Was there like a first book you read or anything that comes to mind?
Well, I started with Bigger Pockets.
Bigger Pockets is a fantastic resource.
And then, yeah, just reading and stuff.
I did Rich Dad, Poor Dad, but I did it after probably the first or second one, like, because we did my house and then we flipped the second one, and that's when I started reading Bigger Pockets. And then I got into YouTube as well. And then that's when we sort of switched into rentals. That's what I was pushing Steven to get a rental.
And that's what really drove into the student rentals. Your guys' videos.
And so today you guys now have 2 student rental properties?
2 duplexes.
In the past year.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so like walking distance to the school here?
Yeah.
And so do you mind breaking down for the audience, like, what does that look like? Like, do you rent by the bedroom here? Is it by the unit? What are rents?
Well, I think kind of our strategy right now is we put it up for as a home, and then I'll put it up as a room rental as well.
Oh, okay. Whatever fills first.
Yeah, pretty much.
What happened.
And so would you guys mind kind of breaking down some numbers around what one of your rental properties look like?
Yeah, sure. So the one that we did, and we buy and refinance them after. So the one that we did, we bought for $220,000.
Are you looking to invest in real estate? You're not sure where to start? Well, come on out on October the 5th, where Alfonso Salemi and I, Lemar Markman, are going to be teaching advanced strategies of rent-to-own and private lending.
If you wanted to invest in real estate and don't know where to start, don't want all the hassles of the tenants, the toilets, and all the things that come with being a real estate investor, this is the workshop to attend. You're going to really enjoy it. We've been putting our hearts and souls into this workshop. It's going to be a great day out in London.
Yeah, we're excited to share with you how you can generate strong returns and have a lot of security. So we'll see you there.
Look forward to seeing you in London.
So would you guys mind kind of breaking down some numbers around what one of your rental properties look like?
Yeah, sure. So the one that we did, and we buy and refinance them after. So the one that we did, we bought for $225,000. We put about $40,000 into it. Right now it rents for the upstairs $1,650 and the downstairs $1,075.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. So that's some good cash flow.
Yeah.
And the downstairs theirs is room rental, and the upstairs is a full suite. Just
so we
to the
got
guys.
that appraised for $324,000 after we put the basement suite in.
And so what kind of attracted you to student rentals?
Cashflow.
Cashflow. It's kind of a niche market here.
Yeah.
There's always going to be students, right?
Yeah.
And the location is that it's all kind of in one area. It's not a 360 around the
so there's
university.
One, it's called Whitmore Park. It's one kind of specific area, subdivision that you can basically walk to the university.
Yeah.
Everything else is kind of spread
Either
out far
dorms
away.
or there.
Yeah.
Why real estate? Why are you guys investing in it? What does that look like 10 years from now?
I think it's long term, just long term growth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wealth
Like,
saving
are you
as well.
building up a retirement? Do you guys want to quit your jobs? Do you want to be real estate full time? Do you know what the future holds?
I don't think so. Yeah, it would be nice to quit our jobs, obviously.
Yeah.
Travel a bit more, but yeah, right now it's just basically to build up that cash flow and have it as a side kind of thing to our main jobs, I would say. Right now we're kind of aiming at buying 1 to 2 a year for the next 10 years, I would say, and just build a little portfolio, and then
see how it goes
at
from
that
there.
point, maybe we sell everything and buy something bigger, or
Yeah. And so will you keep buying student rentals every year, or are you going to experiment with other investments?
We're open to anything.
Yeah, we were looking at some places by the General Hospital, and
it's kind of an up and coming.
And parking too. They don't have very much parking, so we wanted to rent out the back for parking, but didn't get that one.
Gotcha. And so obviously the university must be a big employer, a big pool of your tenant base. What are some other things people should know about Regina if they were, say, looking to invest, or maybe they're from here and thinking about investing?
I think it's a very steady market. We have very good, we have a big oil refinery, the co-op refinery. We have Evraz, which is big steel. It's very stable, very blue collar city. So I think it's just going to keep growing, and slowly. It's not as booming as it used to be, but I think it's just steady growth and steady incomes.
And there is lots of potash mines in Saskatchewan, and then they kind of start to hub around Regina.
Okay.
And then go out from there to smaller towns.
Yeah. And so, Stephen, you're a realtor. Would you be able to share with the audience, like, what's a starter home kind of go for in Regina?
Starter home, I would say anywhere between $250,000 to $300,000.
Okay, so that's pretty reasonably priced. It's not too hard for like a young millennial to break into the market.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, do you guys mind sharing, how old are you and how old were you guys when you bought your first property?
I'm 28 years old, and I guess it would have been 26 or 25 when I bought the first one.
Yeah, I'm 25 right now, and 23 or 22 when we did it.
And so you'll continue working as partners?
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Everything's going good.
It works well?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, surprisingly.
Do what we're good at.
Yeah.
And so do you do a lot more of the renovation, or do you guys split that work? What does that look like?
The past year I worked full time on it, and Stephen came on weekends to help me out.
Yeah. And so how do you guys like figure out the balance of work? I know that that's something a lot of like first time investors struggle with, right?
Yeah.
Like, do you track hours? Is it just you trust that you're both focused on building the same thing?
We used to track hours like down to the half hour and everything, but we've kind of gone away. It's just too time consuming, so we kind of sit down at the end of the project and split it up.
Yeah.
Make it even. Obviously, he's working full time on it, so.
And so you guys own the properties 50-50?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys got started at a very young age investing in real estate.
Yeah.
What tips or recommendations would you give to maybe, a pair of 23 and 25-year-old brothers that are watching this right now?
I would say save up at the beginning. Like, don't get that base of money so you can put it towards that house. And one other thing I would do is, if you're buying a house for yourself, always make sure you can rent it after. That's kind of one mistake I made. I bought a big house when I was young, and I find now I would have to sell it. I couldn't just rent it and it wouldn't cash flow. That's mine. I don't know about you.
Don't be afraid to fail. You can always learn from them, and as long as you're willing to learn from them, you can keep going.
Yeah, I 100% empathize and agree with that. Like, way too many people are focused on trying to do the perfect deal, the first deal. And it's like, no, you need to look at that as an education. It's an opportunity to learn, and if you earn on top of that, fantastic. But otherwise, just consider it tuition to the School of Hard Knocks.
And we thought, we spent lots of hours on our first actual flip, and it wasn't very profitable, but again, we just kind of like, we divided it, and then now we're like, okay, let's do buy and hold. Maybe they'll appreciate a bit more.
Yeah,
exactly.
And like Stephen, your point as well, like having exit strategies and multiple exit plans when it comes to investment property is so critical. Far too often people buy a property with only one purpose or one use in mind.
Yeah.
And for example, one that comes immediately to mind for me is Airbnb. Airbnb is a fantastic opportunity to increase your gross rent, increase your net income, but I'd be very scared about buying a property only that worked as an Airbnb. I'd want it to have multiple exit strategies. So maybe if you're going to buy an Airbnb, you buy that Airbnb that's also a great starter home. So if Airbnb gets banned in your local city, you can immediately pivot and sell that off as a starter home rather than being stuck with a property that can only be used for one purpose.
Absolutely.
Makes sense, yeah.
Options, options, options. Those are the best.
Yeah,
That's something we've also talked about Airbnb, but we haven't explored it yet. It could be, especially by the university, it could be an option.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you taking the time to sit down. If
problem.
people want to reach out, can they? And if so, what's the best way?
Me would be Instagram, Stephen T. Court. And yeah.
Mine, Instagram as well. It's Andy Court with 2 Y's.
All right, I'll throw a link in the video description down below, but if you guys are from Saskatchewan, if you're from Regina, I highly recommend you reach out to these guys, and why not meet up and chat real estate? Again, thanks guys.
Awesome, thank you.
Would you guys like to meet up with me? Well, if so, you need to be following me on Instagram and Facebook. Those are 2 of the platforms where we're just doing more content. These days, YouTube, we want that to be our AAA content. That's our real pillar content. However, we're doing tons of content on Facebook and Instagram as well. If you guys ever want to meet up with me, I'm often doing just random meetups on Instagram, so you need to follow me. Links in video description down below.